protesting? Is it a good thing, a bad thing? Do you have the right to do it? And if so, how far can you take a protest? That's a question we're going to answer today. Hello everyone, my name is Kevin Templeton, and I'd like to talk to you about protesting. That's the subject of the day. So I'm about common sense, fixing solutions. This is a political channel, so we're going to talk a little bit about political and how our lawmakers should address certain things. And I definitely, if you have a comment, put it below. Love to hear what you have to say about this. So let's just start off to this. Do you have the right to protest? Absolutely. Do you have a right to be violent in a protest? Absolutely not. As soon as that protest becomes violent, the protest ought to be stopped. All players in the violent acts should be arrested and thrown in jail and never be allowed to protest again. That's kind of hard, but I'm just telling you, if you got a problem, they'll escalate it. And the next thing you're going to find out is someone that'll escalate that issue at that time will escalate it even more eventually. And then you're going to have a big problem. So it's better to solve the problem at the very beginning by taking that protester and just say, if you ever protest again in our city, and I'd even make it national personally, that you have been deemed as a violent protester. And if you come to any city inside the United States, then we want to know that you're there and we're going to watch you. And if you do it again, then you're going to go away to jail for a very long time. So, because we don't need people being violently protesting. Because just imagine this, say you personally, and if you have a family, say it's you and your family in the car, okay? And you pull up onto a mob of protesters and they start coming to your vehicle, start hitting it and start, doing the things that they do. Okay, they don't, for whatever reason, they think it's okay, and it's not, to stop your transportation. You have the right, constitutionally, you have the right to travel without hindrance, okay? So their constitutional right is they have the right to protest peacefully, and you have the right to travel. It goes hand in hand. You can do both, and it's fine. It's when one side. Now, if you're driving down a normal road and you run off the road by accident, I mean by not being an accident, and you hit a protester, you should be held liable. But if you're a protester and you step your lousy little butt out onto the road, or you try to stop traffic and you get hit, you should go to jail. And if just by doing the act of going out into the road to stop traffic, you should automatically go to jail. You're not just putting your life in danger, you're putting the life of the people in the vehicle's life in danger. And when they feel threatened, they have the right to protect themselves and their family. So they're not just going to sit there and let somebody drag them out and kill them in the street, or attempt to kill them in the street. And there's many incidents of that. So a normal person, and I'm talking to you, would pull up onto a group of protesters in the road protesting. Do you think that the law should be on your side as a driving your vehicle, and when you're in a vehicle like that, you don't supposed to be hindered, or that's just the law, or do you think that the right should fall on the protester to be able to go out into a street and stop traffic? Heck, they do interstates that way. So I'm going to throw my 2 cents into it. That's the question. Who do you think, and how do you think that should be handled? Now comes my 2 cents on it. I think that if they get out in the road protesting, that is a violent act, and that they should be arrested. And there should be a watch list on them if they're willing to go that far. And if they hit a vehicle with an object or throw something at it and they get caught, because there's a lot of cameras everywhere, then they get punished severely. They get all kinds of fines put on them. So that's my opinion. I think you have to go back to where the cause is. And the cause is when protesters stop traffic, they are to blame. And that person in the car has the right to flee under any circumstances, even if it means running over people, to get away from that protesting situation. They never know what, you never know what can happen. So you expect the driver not to feel the fear of that situation, but yet, so I blame the protesters. What do you think? I know this is a touchy subject, and yes, you got the right to protest. No one's denying that. It's peaceful protest. So the question is, who should have the right? Does the protester have the right to come out in the street and stop vehicles, or does the vehicle have the right to proceed under any circumstances? And when I say that, I mean protesters coming out in the road and stopping them, getting in front of their vehicle and all this. Should that vehicle be allowed to just move right on through them? And if they get ran over, they get ran over. That's a sad thing, but that's what our world's coming to. And I'm putting my vote towards the driver. So what do you think? And I'd love to see and hear your comments. Thank you.